Wild.
There
Okay,
you
now
are. Now I can see your handsome face.
You're beautiful. Okay, stop it. I'm gonna start turning red here. Yeah,
What are you doing out there today? Are you in Houston? You're
I have
home,
to go
right?
and pick up. Yeah, I have to go and pick up Zoe here in a little bit. So I'm actually in the truck waiting in line for school to pick her up. So
How old is that pretty girl now?
7 years
7?
old. Yes.
Oh man, yeah, that's right. Because when I first started, you guys were bringing her in a, in a
Yeah.
stroller. Yeah. Oh my gosh,
She'll be 8 in July on my birthday. So it's
that's crazy.
wow. It is.
Yeah, my best friend is she's having a baby, Chelsea, she's having a baby, and she's due the day before my birthday. And I told her that if she has the baby on my birthday, that I get to keep the baby. I feel like it's only fair. I was like, if I'm gonna share my birthday with my future godchild, then let's just make this official right now.
That's
She
sweet.
seems okay with it right now, but I feel like once the baby comes, she's going to be like, that's my baby.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But you could help her out when she needs to go out and needs a break. That's a big deal. That's a big thing right there.
I'm very excited about it. Oh, there's beautiful, all the way from Canada. Look at that pretty.
Hey.
How you doing?
I got my I believe. That says Peter.
I still have my white I believe shirt.
Love it. Hi, Peter.
How are you doing, everybody?
Hey,
Awesome.
Good afternoon.
Well, I appreciate everybody being on, and here we are on Thursday, and it's our Zurvita community chat, and it's part of our Zurvita pledge. And for people that maybe are just on for the first time and you heard it from a friend, make sure you go to zurvita.com/pledge. And it's a community where we could truly help you get unstuck, give you the tools, the news that you could use. And then you'll be invited into our exclusive Facebook group where people just every day, we're having Motivational Monday and Fitness Tuesday, and we're having recipes and macronutrient meal plans on the weekends. We're doing meal prepping and stuff. So, and then every Thursday we have this, and I want to continue, if I may, on our kind of word of the week, which was new beginnings. And here we are in a new month called March. March to me is near and dear to my heart. And for people that saw a few of my posts in the beginning of the week, March is my birthday month. And March 7th is my anniversary when, I always used to say I've had a near-death experience, but I really did die, and God resurrected by blowing life and breath into my lungs again with a good pair of defibrillators. So March 7th has more significance to me because it was a new beginning. I woke up 4 days later in an induced coma because I went into septic shock with a hole that perforated my ileum. And my heart has been soft, and I have truly been dedicated to loving on people ever since. And so a new beginning, really, especially with March, as we get into this call, it's like when I look outside, especially in the Midwest, everything is gray. And then when March comes around, what do they say? March comes in like a lion. It sometimes goes out like a lamb. Sometimes it's opposite. But what ends up happening is that I start seeing this really brown, ugly kind of grass that's all dead start turning green. And I start seeing, different beds throughout my yard being resurrected with these annual plants that come up with just psychedelic, beautiful colors. So there's a lot of hope in March. And that's what I want to just kind of share with each and every one of you, is that it is a new beginning. And to start a new beginning, you need to let go of what's in your hand that maybe our Creator is saying, let go. If that's your God, if that's something that you're worshiping, whether it's an addiction, whether it's a toxic relationship, or whether it's just same old habits when you're walking into the refrigerator at 1 o'clock in the morning, medicating yourself with food. So I share that with each and every one of you because it happens to the best of us. We are creatures of habit. And what we really want to do is really kind of get out of our comfort zone so we could grow and get better together. And, you know, with that, I want to first introduce a woman who I know for years, and she truly has inspired so many people. You know, Vina, and she's from Canada. I love Canada. I was up in Canada visiting for Zurvita, and she said, yeah, we'll have a small group of people. And, you know, it was a beautiful ride, about 4.5 hours. I got up to Toronto, and I walked into this room, and there was like close to 500 people. And I mean, it was mind-boggling. So the energy was beautiful. And on the way home, I just felt so fulfilled and so loved, and it was really great. So here you are, Nina, and you're such a big part of Zurvita. I've watched you grow. We've talked, you know, personally on some of the hills and valleys in your life. And I guess, you know, here we are, where basically the pledge, the Zurvita pledge, is so much about making this declaration, this commitment, this new beginning where people win at whatever level they're on. It's very different than the challenge. How has this affected your life personally, you know, and just maybe just tell us all where you're at right now.
I love that. Oh my goodness. You're gonna be here the whole night long with me talking, but I know AJ and Peter's gonna stop me. But guys, I'm so excited. I'm so blessed that, you know, when Peter gave me the voice text, man, my heart went boom, 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 right? But I said, Vina, it's not about you. It's about how you're gonna be blessing a lot of people and how you can impact in people's lives. So I really appreciate Zurvita. I am absolutely like Zurvita forever from day one. And you know that, right? And yes, life is not, it's very challenging. And Peter knows my life, right? And it still is. But you know what? As Peter said, it's a new beginning, right? New beginning, keep moving. And what this transformation place has been helping me in all aspects, right? There's so much. In Zurvita, I grew a lot. Like, I mean, I didn't grow like, you know, I'm still short, right? But I'm just saying that emotionally, like, you know, and spiritually, I've been a Christian since I was 18, and I'm still 18, okay? but you know, like how God has really molded me in this opportunity. I knew then that, I'm just gonna go back a little bit before I go to transformation, right? And because truly Zurvita has transformed me a lot physically, financially, and emotionally, and spiritually most of, right? And it came through prayer. So I knew then, I'm always been a chaser of something better, right? Even though I was in the medical field, but it wasn't fulfilling at all. So there's a lot of, you know, leaps and bounds and still going on in my life, right? And praise God that God finally, you know, plunged me to Zurvita through prayer, Facebook, which I didn't like before, right? And now, you know, God is using me like in this, I'm not a high-tech person as well, right? But God is using me, the Holy Spirit is just telling me what to do. So today, guys, I'm just so blessed and honored to be, you know, to be part of this transformation, because like for over 7 years now, I've been with Zurvita and AJ, Peter, you saw me from the beginning, right? And, you know, God is so good. He's a God of order, right? And slowly but surely in my life, and with the a little bit background about business, and I thought I knew some, but I didn't know anything, right? But God allowed me to try other businesses, because then I know how to compare, right? So I am home with Zurvita. It's my home, my purpose, calling, and a ministry for me. And I was so blessed the last convention I came, because transformation, you know, like a Zurvita Plus has been born. And at first, I've been using transformation, but it didn't really go in my head, like, you know, like just to feel good and all that. But I, you know, I'm not a detailed person. I just, you know, I just go when God tells me. I don't ask questions much, right? But thank God that He leads me to real people who loves me. And thank you, Peter. You listen to my moanings. And AJ, I love your hug and the love that you know, when you hug me, darling, like even Peter, my gosh, I feel it to the core of my heart. And I really praise God that this was born. And I kept texting Shauna, how come I'm not in the chat group? How come, because I want to be part of that, right? Sometimes I'm on meetings, but you know what? I watch replay and that Monday motivation, Peter, my gosh, right? And my prayer, you know, my prayer with Zurvita as to be Matthew 6:33, woman of excellence. And that's all God is asking. Put Him first in my life and all these things shall be added unto me. Wow, amazing, right? And, you know, I was up and down, like, you know, from, you know, my numbers, AJ, from over 15,000, it went to 600, right? And, but you know what? When you have Jesus, like you smile, right? And He made you grow up, right? In faith, because it's not about me, right? It's about Him. What's my purpose in this world, right? So I love Zurvita. Thank you, Peter, for inspiring every time. And you know, when I was down, like with my numbers, right? I tried going to apply, like I'm a cardiac sonographer. And before, I always got hired, but nobody wanted to hire me. I said, Lord, what is this, right? But God is a God of, as I said, God of order, and He's a Jehovah Jireh, right? He's a God who provides. You know, so many challenges, marriage and all that stuff, right?
You know,
thank God.
And I receive everything that you're saying, and what I'm hearing and what I'm receiving, even just kind of thinking out loud, is that sometimes we all as humans get into this autopilot, this cruise control. And, you know, sometimes, like, you know, my TV show, I have two TV shows, Peter's Principles and Peter Nielsen Life Coaching. And one of them is in 110 countries. So it's hard for a human not to get full of yourself. And I'm being real. And what ends up happening is I talk to God like He's a human to say, I'm sorry I'm sick and I want to do more and I'll promote you more. And a lot of times I have such an intimate relationship with our Creator. And recently, over the past 11 months, when I kind of got sideswiped, and it kind of took me off track for a minute where I was like, what just happened? And I think that what happened was God wanted to get my attention. And what He wanted to do, and I'm saying this to everyone, is like we're creatures of habit. We get into this mode. And I was thinking that God needed my TV show and He needed my radio show and He needed me to say certain things on stage at Zurvita or at other appearances. And He just needed me to post certain things. And one morning as I was talking, God just said, in 2020, I want you to talk less and I want you to listen more because I'm not done with you. And if you just, excuse my expression, shut your mouth and listen, I want to blow more life into you because the blessings of 5 years ago are not what I want to do for you today. What I did for you 5 years ago, I'm evolving you and preparing you and grooming you for a new day, a new season. And when I thought of that, I got totally out of my comfort zone. And I was like, what does He want me to do? If He doesn't need me, like my identity is this and that. And He was like, no, you're my child. I don't care about your trophies and your Mr. Universe and your TV shows. I just care that whatever you do, whether you're speaking to one person at Kroger's grocery store or you're at the airport. If there's an invitation for someone to understand why you're smiling or why you're happy, I want you to introduce me in your own Peter way, period. So I totally get what you're saying, because a lot of times when we try to negotiate or put God in a box, we really fall on our face. And it's almost like him saying, you silly boy, I'll let you go around this mountain one more time and I'll be here when you get back. So to be out of your comfort zone, that's where all the growth happens. And to go through some of the worst battles of your life, it teaches you more than a Harvard or a Yale education could ever. When you go through something, and if you truly put trust and surrender to him, you come out a better, more equipped person, and so I really have watched you, grow. I've watched you go through hills and valleys. I've watched you surrender. Regardless if it's 15 or 600, God has got a plan for all of us. And sometimes that's just him saying, listen, what's worked 5 years ago is not going to work today. It's a new day. So you need to fill your brain and your heart with newness, a new beginning, whether it's in your business, in a relationship, or whatever the case is. And I think that's where I'm at, is like I used to be this CEO kind of alpha male control freak. And now I let God lead my day. Like, Lord, what do you want me to do today? And I think one of the things that I love about our Zurvita community chat and our Zurvita pledge is that there is no competition. It's like our founding principles. One of them are people win at whatever level they're on. And here, whether it's fitness, nutrition, breaking a stronghold, addiction, or just being that better, healthier version of yourself, mind, body, or spirit, that's where you are. You can win. And that's a beautiful thing. And just like we got on this chat, and here I am thinking I'm going to go down this path, and I'm allowing God to fill my heart and listening to you, and we're going down a different path because that's what he wanted you and I to talk about. So I say thank you, and I appreciate you, and I'm rooting for you. I always pray for you. And if you don't invite me back up to Toronto with Zurvita, I know where you live. You could run, but you can't hide, woman, because I just came back from Ohio. They killed it with winning with selling the most amount of transformation systems. Now Texas is on fire. I am rooting for Canada. I want to see Canada blow it up, and I will do anything to help you guys. I am literally 4-hour car ride away, and there's a couple of fantastic sushi restaurants in Toronto that I want to visit, and I'll take everybody out. So
I'll go. I volunteer.
Exactly. So thank you, Vita. And the next person I became friends with years ago when I first partnered with Zurvita. It's been, the beginning of 2012, and we have a few common denominators. He's an amazing father. That's number one. He loves his family. Show me a man that puts his wife or his children first. I'll show you a good man. Second, on a personal level, he loves to fish. And I thought that I live on a lake, it's a pretty big lake, but it's not an ocean. And so I showed him some pictures of like a 10-pound big mouth bass, and I'm taking it so that it looks like it's half the size of me. You know how you do that. And I'm seeing him send me back pictures of these mammoth fish that are as big as him. And I'm like saying to myself, I want to go fishing with this dude. So without further ado, I just want to say, Lambrata, that you are amazing. And, you're a brother in Christ. I've watched you evolve as well with your health, with your family. How has this Zurvita pledge affected your life, and how has it plugged into with your family? And thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Peter. First of all, it's an honor to be on this call and hear the Zurvita pledge. But it's actually challenged me and my little daughter. It's Zoe. I say that because the other day I had a cheat date, and I was getting some cookies and some milk, and she says, "Ooh, I'm gonna tell your trainer, I'm gonna tell everybody you're eating cookies and milk." I was like, okay. I only cut down to 2. Okay,
You
so I
called it to the mat.
right? But you know, Peter, it's been a blessing because I started it when I know we had several transformations, several times that we had different times to start this program, but I really took it this year seriously because of I mean the products. Zeal was excellent. I felt the protein, everything, but when they came in with the Zeal Plus, the Fusion, the repair, the H2O, I mean, I really felt it, and it was like, no, I could not sit down. So I wound up going to the gym. I started a gym in November, and they told me, "Gosh, what are you on? You know, you're nearly 53 years old. What are you taking? You know?" And I'm just zilly now. I'll feel good. Come on, let's do this. Well, you know, I've been doing it since November, and I think I wound up hitting a hiccup in December, late December, January, early January. I was hitting the weights and doing some squatting, but now, you know, I ride a Harley also. So my Harley tipped over. That's 1,300 pounds on a Road King. That's a heavy bike. I pulled it back up. Okay, so I felt a little bit of strain on my hip. Mind you, I already had a back surgery 30 years ago and a neck injury in 2012. So I picked up the bike. The next day I went and did some squats. Oh my gosh, the hip it had been bothering me for a while. What I did is the trainer that was training me, he pulled out and left to another facility, and I wound up getting connected with another trainer. This young lady, she started me and she said, "Peter, this is what she told me." She said, "Librado, we're gonna start all over, so we can do assessment, everything." And I'm like, okay, but I did tell her about my hip. This is one thing that I've noticed. Every time I drink the Zeal, the Fusion, the whole program, the Burn, the Cleanse, I actually have noticed that my posture and standing up, I've been able to, where my weaknesses on my left leg or in my back areas, she has been able to help me and line up with the products that the repairing has been rapidly. And I used to lean quite a bit standing up or sitting down. I couldn't sit down a long time because of my back, but I found my posture just being able to just, wow, praise God and give all glory to God. And I'm like, wow, this Zeal is really working. People are like really trying to understand me at the fitness center. They're like, man, he's on something.
And you know what's a beautiful thing is that when you live it and it comes from the inside out, then for everyone even listening, like a lot of people, you know, like I remember when you inboxed me and you said, how can I get started again? You know, you got the injury. And it's like biomechanically, it's beautiful that our body wants to heal, but we need to know, you know, the restrictions, limitations, and how to work around an injury. But the beautiful thing is that when you're on your journey, most people, I've never had to sell, like literally sell and talk about price with any of our products. Meaning when someone sees me, even if they don't watch me or hear me or read my books and they know nothing about me, I would say the first attraction is light, that you can tell when someone feels healthy. And then we're visual, you know, we're visual creatures and humans. So then people see a person's in shape, whether it's their hair, their skin, their shape. And then it leads to everybody wants to plug into something that maybe they desire to be or emulate or whatever. So the beautiful thing about being that best version of yourselves, in even a business sense, is that when you cross your T's and dot your I's, and you feel confident, your shoulders are back, your chest out, your eyes are just vibrant, and your skin looks healthy, people are going to say, what are you doing? As soon as they say, what are you doing? It's like, not only does the conversation start, but the conversation basically ends, because all you have to do is say, go to this website. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm training. This is my macronutrients. This is this. And they're going to say, you know, I'm in. Because a lot of times people can't afford not to do something to be that best version of themselves. So when I always say on stage or on my TV show that we are the product of the product, and when we become that walking billboard, then it's like a no-brainer. The business basically catches on fire because of your choices and your actions and how you live your life. If someone, you know, and I've said this probably the first time I ever was on stage at a convention for Zurvita, and I say this with love, with not disrespect, owning, you know, 5 health clubs at one time, 5 physical therapy clinics at one time, having 27 people going into people's homes, you need to live that exercise physiology lifestyle. So if someone came in and they had a master's degree and they smelled like smoke and they looked disheveled and they were, you know, 80 pounds overweight, I may give them some free personal training sessions, love on them, give them a nutritional counseling that's worth $1,500, but I'm not going to hire them to motivate someone that possibly they can't. They could on paper, but when someone comes in, most people want to see somebody that reeks wellness. So you can be overweight or morbidly obese, and I've literally made some people that worked for me my guinea pig, where we literally took them and they lost 100 pounds and they became fit. And that's the story of my whole career for the last 30 years, is transformation. I believe in that with all my heart. But what I'm saying is that if you're not the product of the product, and you got wrappers of, you know, of a fast food burger joint in your front seat of your car, and you're reeking of alcohol or tobacco, and you're going to try to sell wellness products, it does not work. Because people are saying, this person doesn't even believe in themselves, no less can I believe in them. So just to come full circle is like, when you live it like you are, and you're getting better, you're getting excited about your own life, you're getting excited about your own health, and then people are going to be asking you questions. How did that injury go away? How did you go from where you were last year to where you're walking without any pain? And then with excitement, I do this, 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 I eat this, 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 I take this, 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 sold, boom. You know, there was that movie, whatever she's doing, I want. Whatever, you know, whatever she ordered, I want. You know, and that's how it works in anything in life, you know. And, you know, so I guess I'm asking you first, Zurvita, what would you say is the take-home message for people that are maybe listening and they're excited, but they're not living it? They're excited for everyone else. They're voyeuring in, they're on the sidelines, and they're not plugging into, you know, what we're doing.
This is really what I was looking at, Peter. You know, it's a new beginning. It's a new year. It's 2020. We're not getting any younger. And I just want to share with people that are listening, or just to encourage them, you know, what do you want in life? I saw a picture the other day of it was on Facebook, a 50-year-old guy, one with a pot belly and one that had been staying on a training program. And I I want to live for Jesus, in other words, and I want to be a representative, imitator of him, and long life is what I want to have. Choose, what do you want? Do you want to, be honest, do you want to die early, or do you want to live to the fullest? Because it is up to us. We have our tongues, life and death. And I'm giving up the tacos. I mean, I totally, oh man. Taco, I know, look, I hate it. But I'm giving up these foods because I truly want to live longer and live to see my daughter grow up. You know, my oldest daughter's 37, and I have a 7-year-old. So now, I want to see her get as old or, grow up. And it's within, what do you want in life? I would share people. Do you want to have a short life, or do you want to have a life of fullness, abundance, a full life of joy, peace, and within, and as I believe in the Lord, and as he took me out of miry pits and put me on a solid rock, on the ground, I truly believe that in my heart that I want to be a representative, represent him, an ambassador for him, for Jesus Christ, to be able to show and glow and, and share, this is what the Lord has done. And he's not through with me yet.
He's not through with you yet, and he's not through with any of us. And what I will say is, think about your sport that you love, fishing. I mean, fish has got omega-3. It's got amazing protein. It's got anti-inflammatory properties that will help bring inflammation down. So all I'm saying is that some of the fish that you can eat, if I was in your neck of the woods, man, I would be like having a delicacy and grilling stuff in my backyard, like woo, with colorful vegetables and stuff. So I'm telling you right now, if I ever smell a taco on you at a convention or something, I'm going to put you in a headlock and bring you on stage.
No, I'm working on the fish. I had a salmon lunch earlier with broccoli, a little bit of salad. I'm going to eat clean because I really want to. I want to be the person, the spokesman. I'm working on a 6-pack because I just want to be that person and not only make the Lord proud, but to represent Zurvita and you, as being our coach, life coach. And I just want to. That's in my heart.
And if I could say this, if you were closer, and I say this in front of everybody, if you were closer, you're just a man's man. We both ride Road King Harley Davidsons. We both love fishing. We enjoy being a father, and the point is that to live a long, quality-filled life and to have peace like no other, regardless of what storm is in your life, God knows your heart. And my hope and my desire for you is that you stay healthy, because you are the head, not the tail of your family. You are the spiritual leader. You lead by example, and your family will literally enjoy the legacy that God is blessing you with. So thank you so much for being on the call. I'm going to give Vina last word, your take-home message quickly for people that are listening that maybe have not, really plugged into our Zurvita pledge, really have not plugged into our transformation system or our performance products. What would you tell them?
Okay. First off, the Zurvita pledge is an all-in-one, physically, financially, and spiritually. And we are made of body, mind, and spirit. And this one is a full regimen for a full body transformation. So take it. We don't have the performance yet, but I know it's coming. But even with the transformation system alone, wow, it's a wow thing. And I am Peter. I am now a walking, talking billboard close by to the full regimen now. I don't go in a day without taking the full regimen. Thank you. And by doing that, my brain has been sharpened, right? Emotionally, and my last word, not last word, but just today, right? Encouraging word I'm gonna leave with you guys is let's bloom where we are planted, and God's plans are higher than ours. His ways and His ways are higher than ours, and He has put us in this company, and with the transformation, with the Zurvita pledge. For me, it's a counseling. It counsels me a lot, and thank you. So plug in every time, and know that you're not gonna plug in with everything that Peter says.
Amen. Amen. Well, what I want to do is for everybody, and there's quite a few people on here today, is I want to just leave and kind of come full circle. It is March. It is a new beginning. It's a new season. And I'm literally looking at something that we put together at Zurvita, and I'm going to read it out loud. And if you've never done it, afterwards, what I want you to do is I truly want you to just videotape, again, you making a declaration, because when you speak something, what do I always say? When you speak it, it's either life or death. When you speak something is what you prophesize, good or bad. So if you say, I'm not gonna do good on this, I'm not doing good on my marriage, I'm not doing good on my eating, all you're doing is you're truly creating a negative future. So I want to end this with some positive words that we put together, not because we just wanted to, because it truly comes from the heart. And when you speak this, it has such significance as deep as your soul. And it says, I pledge allegiance to myself and the body that I live in, to make healthy, everyday choices and to start from within. I promise to properly nurture, uplift, and care for my health, to grow in strength and confidence. Today, in March, I take an oath to believe in me and to challenge myself with the abilities I have nourished. We have one mind, I have one body, and one life to live here on earth. And I, Peter Nicholas Nielsen, I commit to me and to win. And that's what I want for each and every one of you. If you want to plug in, we have an amazing event coming up in less than 2 weeks. It's called Elevate. It's at Hotel Zaza. I'm going to be there. So many different humble leaders are going to be there. Mark Jarvis, our founder, our CEO, Jay Schaefer, Gordon, who's new and just this innovator, is going to be there. Our ambassadors, Brad Murray is going to be there. So many different people. Cindy and Kirby Wright's going to be there. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to be specifically talking about the transformation system. I'm going to break down nutritionally each and every product, and I'm going to challenge people to take the pledge. But if you really want to take your business, yourself to the next level, one day from, I think it's 9 to 5, it's going to be action-packed, and it is March 19th, Thursday, in Houston, Texas. And then, we're getting ready for, one of my favorite cities is Chicago, man. And I am so excited. We're going to have our Sports National spokesperson, there. And there's just so many different things. And I'm going to give it for you to close, Adriel. And thank you for all that you do, because I have a hard time putting on a computer. And she basically masters everything. And I think I would be pretty lost without her. That's all I'll say.
Well, that's kind. One, I have a comment about the tacos. Okay. So here's my comment about the tacos. Eat the tacos. You don't have to eat them every day. You don't have to eat them whatever. Okay. I had pizza for lunch today because today I wanted pizza.
You could have a veggie taco. You could have a veggie taco, a chicken taco.
Well, here's my
eliminate the cheese.
Is that if you go from one extreme to the other, you're not going. If I was trying to do this, right? Say it's back in November, I'm starting the pledge, and I'm like, I'm not gonna eat pasta. I'm not gonna eat pizza. I probably would have failed because realistically, I'm gonna eat pasta. I'm going to eat pizza, you know? But what I learned through working out stuff is by getting healthier and taking care of myself, I crave those things less. I eat those things less. I go to them less. So when I do eat them, I don't feel bad. They gave every department in this company a big cookie cake today, thanking us for all of our hard work. So you know what I had for breakfast? Freaking cookie cake. You know, but I ran a 5K this morning.
Right, but she runs 100 miles a week.
I'm like, I earned that cookie. You know, I think it's really important that we set ourselves up, you know, so we don't feel like you have to eat like just chickpeas and salad. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to. Like, I will eat chickpeas and I will eat salad, but I will eat cookies sometimes for breakfast and I will have pizza sometimes for lunch. And I think that I said this to Jay this morning. It's so funny because he was like, you can't put that on social media. And I was like, yeah, I can. I was like, put the Zil bottles next to it. It's about balance. It's about showing that you don't have to be all one thing. Like, we aren't all one thing, you know? It's, if you try and go from one extreme to the next without being prepared for it, you are more likely to fail. You have to be realistic about where you're setting yourself up. And I just want, that's why when I was like, first of all, I know Librado, and second of all, I know Houston, and you're gonna eat those tacos. And you might not eat them every single day, and you might eat healthier versions of tacos you might have eaten in the past. But it's okay for you to have tacos, and it's okay for you to have ice cream. It's just not—
I will be your health conscience. I will be your health conscience. No dairy. No. You could get ice cream in the form of macadamia, cashew, rice. We don't need mucus and artery clogging saturated fat. And I love Adriel, and she could eat anything and look amazing. And I do believe in moderation. And I will say this: the first 3 letters of the word diet spell die. No one wants to deprive themselves. Study after study says exactly what Adriel said. If you go from one extreme to the other, and you're dieting, and you're going to actually like implode. You may lose some weight fast. You're going to explode once you go off of that. So what I recommend is kind of a modification of what we just talked about, is knowledge is power. Learn healthier choices so that you have a health conscious. When you go get a taco, I get tacos, but I get tacos maybe with some fish or some vegetables or some chicken or turkey or whatever, or just vegan, and it's delicious. I have pizza. I make pizza from scratch, but I don't put any cheese on it. I put basically all vegetables and I spice it up. So for every food, there's a healthy alternative. But I'll tell you one thing, and I almost broke someone's camera. No, I would never do that. Someone was in a restaurant and they wanted to take a picture of me eating chocolate desserts. And I was like, there goes my career. But I'm saying it in front of everybody. I'm a chocoholic. I will eat healthy 98% of the time. I will have them bring the tray. If it looks decadent, I don't feel guilty one bit. The next day, I'm right back on track. If I take one bite of it and it's like this, it's not worth the 600 or 700 calories. So it's like, you know, I totally agree with Adriel, where you need to, this is one life we live, but knowledge is power. 60 to 70% on how we look and feel has to do with what we put in this little circle called our mouth. And what you don't want to do is get into exercise bulimia, where you eat something, you eat a taco filled with cheese, and then you say, okay, I'm going to go out and run in the rain for 5 miles because that's going to take it off. Wrong. You want to go out and do your road work to strengthen your heart and to do it, but you don't want that to control your exercise. I know many people, they'll go to a black tie affair, they'll pig out, they can't go to sleep until they get on their treadmill or their elliptical machine for an hour because they feel like they have to burn those calories. That is the beginning of the end when it comes to bulimia or, or a food disorder. And that's a whole nother piece that Adriel could talk about at a later time. And I'll give it back to you.
Yeah, I think that's a good subject. We should cover that on a different time.
We will,
I have a lot to do. I will say, so Elevate's really exciting. That's going to be in 2 weeks. I have Librato, you going to be there?
I'll be there.
All right, Vina, you going to be there? This is like Brady Bunch. I'm like pointing it to people in the boxes. Peter will be there. Librato will be there. Vina will be there. I will be there.
We did a video like that with the Brady Bunch, you and I.
Yeah, we did do a video. So this is a field-led event. Corporate is honored to be able to attend, some of us, and be able to support the field. So this is a really unique opportunity for you guys to be able to come and really hear from the leaders. Joel will be there. I think the Smiths, I talked to them when I was there for Feed 500. I believe they're going to be there. David Gutierrez. You've got all kinds of people coming in. They are going to be talking to you guys. It's not the same as like a convention where corporate goes on stage and we're like, here's all these things that we want you to know. This is coming from the field. This is like things that they've learned, things that they're passionate about, things that they want you to know for your business, for your lifestyle, for your family, stuff like that. So it's a really unique event. So I think that it's going to be great if you can get down here. Also, it's rodeo. So come down here and celebrate rodeo season in Houston, build our economy. Thanks. And we've got some cool stuff. I don't know if you follow us on our social media. It'd be a lot cooler if you did. So we have really cool. It starts today. Zurvita is a sponsor for the Arch Madness Missouri Valley Conference. And you can start watching them say on Fox Sports and Midwest, Kansas City, Indiana, and Chicago. So we are a proud sponsor of these. It's part of the March, like kind of a March Madness thing with basketball. And whenever you see the Z-Man go along, we want you to take a Zeal and like do a selfie and tag us on there for the actual hashtags and stuff like that. Go look on our Facebook page and our Instagram, and we have some stuff there. This morning on our Instagram story, cool camp that is coming in May, and we are super humbled to be a part of Deshaun's life in general, and that Deshaun Watson chose to go with us over a lot of other places that he could have been. He is an incredible human, and he has a coaching camp for kids 6 to 16, I believe it is. Let me double check my thing. So yeah, it's ages 6 to 16. It's a camp where they get to be coached by Deshaun Watson. Really unique opportunity. It's here in Houston on May 2nd, and it's in Clemson in his hometown, or where he went to college, down in May 9th. So if you happen to have a 6 to 16-year-old that wants to come and learn from a professional, it's a good opportunity. We're a proud sponsor of that as well. So we'll get to go and love on all those kids too. And we're really excited about that. So if you have been seeing a bunch of stuff in our emails, make sure that you have Zurvita Corporate on your contacts so that we don't go to spam or anything like that, because there's some really cool stuff that we sent out yesterday. There's stuff we send out every single Monday, and we want you to be able to be plugged in. And I can't tell you any specifics, but we do have some interesting stuff happening next week. So you might want to stay really focused on your emails and social media, because there's some good stuff coming up down the pipeline.
Good.
All right. Well, tomorrow is Free Share Friday. You don't have to do a dance to Free Share, but you can. So put anything up there that you feel you want to talk with everyone about, and we will see you next week. And I'm very excited.
Yes.
Everyone have a great week.
All right. Have a good day and the rest of your week, guys. Bye.
God bless y'all. Bye.
Thank you.